From the first overall pick in the draft, you always expect them to become a superstar. Do you know who isn't expected to do so? Second-round picks. Well, today, we will talk about those players who arrived quietly but soon became superstars. Welcome back to GOAT of Basket. Before we dive into the most exciting and stunning picks of the second round, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more basketball and NBA curiosities. We all know the story of the reigning Finals MVP, Nikola Jokic. Selected with the 41st pick of the NBA draft's second round, there were so few expectations on him that there was a Taco Bell ad on TV when he was picked. The Serbian center has surpassed all expectations and is now one of the best players and centers in the league. With incredible passing skills, an absolute mastery of the fundamentals, and an overall dominance of the game. He's a two-time MVP, regularly selected for the All-Star game, the cornerstone of the Denver Nuggets, and a horse enthusiast. In these finals, he's been averaging a triple-double. He's the one and only Joker. Joker's story is not the only remarkable one. Many others have gone from being unknown to becoming stars. From the Serbian center to another European center, Marc Gasol arrived in the NBA without much fanfare. He was just Pau's out-of-shape brother. Marc Gasol was drafted by the Lakers with the 18th pick of the second round in 2007. However, he was not considered ready for the jump to the NBA and stayed in Europe for another year to improve his game. The Lakers included him in a trade that brought Pau to Los Angeles, and Marc made his debut with the Memphis Grizzlies. Marc established himself as a complete player, with excellent passing, scoring, and game-reading abilities. But if Marc Gasol proved to be a valuable offensive asset, he was even better on defense. Gasol was named the 2013 Defensive Player of the Year. He's also a three-time All-Star, but most importantly, he's an NBA champion. He won the title in 2019 as the absolute protagonist of the Raptors. Like Marc Gasol, another player arrived in the NBA amid general skepticism, yet he wrote indelible pages in the history of the San Antonio Spurs. Manu Ginobili was drafted with the 57th pick in the 1999 draft. The Spurs called him to Texas only in 2002, and with Duncan and Parker at the service of Popovich, he had a decisive impact on the team. In reality, the lack of confidence in the young Ginobili was senseless. Manu arrived in the NBA after winning with Virtus Bologna, all of it in Italy. In his years with Virtus, he won a championship, a national cup, and the Euro League, establishing himself as one of the best talents in Europe. But if possible, the Argentinian did even better in the NBA. He won 4 NBA titles, was selected to the All-Star game twice, was named the 6th Man of the Year, and added awards and recognitions with his national team. Manu Ginobili arrived in the NBA with total indifference and earned his place in the Basketball Olympus, rightfully being inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2022. From the 57th pick of the second round to the 60th and final pick, it's time to talk about Isaiah Thomas. The point guard was selected as the last overall pick in the 2014 draft by the Sacramento Kings, but he quickly earned his place in the league. Many doubted Thomas due to his physical capabilities. He's one of the shortest players to have played in the NBA. In a league where physicality and athleticism play a big role, it's not surprising that there were concerns about his ability to make it in the NBA with his 5'9" inches height. However, Thomas had an immediate impact on the team and quickly made a name for himself as one of the best rookies of the year, earning a spot on the NBA All-Rookie second team. In his second year, he played in 69 games as a starter, and he played a total of 79 games with an average of 13 points. After Sacramento, he played for the Suns and then landed in Boston, where he experienced the best years of his career. He became an indisputable superstar and the linchpin of the team, showcasing his offensive talent and even earning a spot in the All-Star game. However, due to injuries, Thomas's game suffered after his time at the Celtics. From Boston, he went to Cleveland, Lakers, Denver, and faced many ups and downs along the way. Nevertheless, Thomas remains one of the most beloved players in the league due to his dedication and dynamic game. Have you ever heard of the incredible Bulls of the 90s and the fact that 3 of their key players were second-round draft picks? It's true. In addition to the legendary Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, Phil Jackson relied on crucial players like Rodman, Kukoc, and Kerr, all of whom were second-round picks. Dennis Rodman's story is incredible. He went from being homeless to an NBA champion. During his time in junior college, Rodman put up an incredible 25 points and 15 rebounds per game. At the pre-draft camp, he caught the eye of the Pistons, who selected him as the 27th pick of the second round. He immediately showcased his defensive and rebounding skills. In Detroit, he won 2 championships and became one of the most interesting players in the league. When I moved to Bulls, he was pivotal to Jordan and company's success in Chicago. Likewise, Steve Kerr was selected as the 50th pick by the Suns and is considered one of the best shooters in NBA history. Interestingly, in the 90s, the three-point shot wasn't a major aspect of the game. Instead, teams relied on dominant centers. However, Kerr played a crucial role for the Bulls, making a game-winning shot against the Jazz in 1997. And Phil Jackson had one of the best European talents in Toni Kukoc. The Croatian was a unique talent, a mix of Manu Ginobili and Dirk Nowitzki, and was able to adapt quickly to the Bulls team. Selected as the 29th pick of the second round, Kukoc was one of the first big men to have great ball handling and shooting skills, and became an all-star, averaging double figures in points per game. These players were crucial to making the Bulls one of the most successful dynasties in NBA history. Have you heard the craziest story about a second-round draft pick? It's definitely the one about Gilbert Arenas. In college, he was one of the hottest prospects out there. Everyone, especially Gilbert himself, was convinced he'd be among the top picks in the draft. So being young and carefree, Gilbert started spending money like he already had it. Buying luxury cars, TVs, clothes, jewelry, partying like a millionaire. Little did he know, he'd never see those millions. Poor guy. During pre-draft interviews and workouts, Gilbert showed a lack of maturity and a bad attitude. He even refused to run on the treadmill so as not to ruin his shoes. Not quite the best first impression, right? And so, in a draft with talents like Marc Gasol and Zach Randolph, Gilbert Arenas was chosen as the number 2 pick of the second round, and his millionaire contract went up in smoke. He signed a contract worth around $400,000, which is a lot of money. But Gilbert had already spent it all, if not more, even before he started. Without money to put gas in his luxury car, Gilbert was forced to spend all day practicing and improving. And in his second year, he won the award for Most Improved Player. Soon, he would prove himself as one of the best shooters and scorers in the league, with unrivaled offensive talent. Only his injuries held him back. Gilbert Arenas went from zero to hero, starting from scratch to become Agent Zero. Like them, there are clearly many other talents who have managed to make a name for themselves in the league after being chosen in the second round of the draft. In your opinion, who are the strongest players ever to be picked in the second round? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like and subscribe to Goat of Basket. Thank you for following us. See you next time.